Hey guys, it's Troy Dellinger, and today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about the Reformation. And Lord willing, I'll probably be doing this for a couple weeks. And the purpose I'm doing it is to educate people about what the Reformation is and what it's about, because I think it's very important for people to be educated and understand. A lot of people, they think it's a good thing. They think that the Reformation, the Reformers are the great heroes of the Christian faith, but I'm going to educate that, and I'm going to show the reality and the good and bad from both perspectives. And I'm not going to be favoring one side or the other. I'm just going to be showing straight up historical facts about the Reformation. And I'm doing that so people understand what it is and why they shouldn't, just naively believe that the reformers are great Christian heroes. Because the Christian reformers were not, I apologize, the reformers were not Christians. Um, it is an entirely different religion than biblical Christianity, and Lord willing, I'm going to explain why here in a couple weeks. But right now I'm going to do an introduction video. I'm going to be talking about the Reformation. Now, the Reformation was about protesting the Catholic Church. And in a sense, we can see why this is justifiable. This is why a lot of people get deceived, because they know that the Catholic Church is corrupt. And they look to the reformers as the heroes to get us out of the Catholic Church. But if you go from Catholic to Reform, you're jumping out of one frying pan into another frying pan. So I'm going to be talking about issues with Roman Catholicism, but I'm also going to be talking about issues with Protestants as well. But like I said, these guys, they had a lot of things that were right. They knew that there were issues. They were trying to do something about those issues. So to a certain extent, you can see that the Reformation does make sense to a certain degree. But when you delve further into Reformed theology, you learn that it's more than just about protesting Catholics, but it has certain doctrines that are heretical. And Lord willing, I'll look further into that later. But right now, we're going to start off with the Catholic Church. So we all know that the Catholic Church is corrupt. We know that the Catholic Church is not Christian. And during the time of the Reformation, the Catholic Church was the powerful empire during that time period of all throughout the Middle Ages. The Catholic Church dominated Europe and really a majority of the world. And the Catholic Church was corrupt. They were murderers. They killed innocent people. We look at the Inquisition, and they killed people. They killed Jews. We look at the Crusades, and they killed Muslims, and they were just murderers, and they killed people with false accusation. During this time period, the Catholic Church had outlawed reading the Bible. The reading the Bible was illegal during this time period. Anyone caught with the Bible, they could have been killed. There was people being burned at the stake. The Catholic Church were wicked. They were manipulative. They were trying to control people through the masses with popes and other things. They had indulgences, trying to sell people into salvation. And people knew that this was corrupt, and people wanted to change, and it's justifiable, and you can see why, because the Catholic Church was the issue. So during the 1300s, we have John Wycliffe and the Lollards, and I really don't even know if these guys even had anything to do with the Protestant Reformation. This predates the Reformation. These guys had their own movements, and I really don't know what all their beliefs were. Personally speaking, I have a lot of great respect and admiration to John Wycliffe. John Wycliffe translated parts of the Bible into English, or maybe the whole Bible. I can't remember which. But he did translate it, and during this time period in the Catholic Church, this was very bold. He protested against the Catholic Church, and he was saying that they were hindering people from reading the Bible. And John Wycliffe believed in getting the Bible into the hands of the common people, so he made it one of his priorities in translating the Bible into English. And during this time period, that was illegal. And John Wycliffe was considered by the Catholic Church to be a heretic, and they basically wanted to kill him, but he didn't end up getting killed, but they wanted to kill him. John Huss, on the other hand, he had his movement in about the 1400s, and he also protested the teachings and practices of the Catholic Church, but he was actually a Catholic himself. But he was considered by the Catholic Church to be a heretic, and they burned him at the stake. So after Huss, you have Martin Luther. And Martin Luther was also a very devout Catholic monk. And he did not want to leave the Catholic Church, but he wanted to reform certain practices within the Catholic Church. He challenged the indulgences. He challenged things such as the papacy, Scripture being the ultimate authority, because that's what his beliefs were, that the Scripture was the ultimate authority. He supported the Bible being into the hands of the common people, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get Scripture into the hands of the people, and he believed that salvation was by faith alone. But the Catholic Church taught that salvation was by works, and so Martin Luther, he protested this. And he wrote the 95 Theses, and this brought a lot of controversy. And this is what started the Protestant Reformation. And Lord willing, I'll do more on that on another video. Thank you for watching.